Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. Yep, a little different surroundings. Had to kind of take my little mini studio down, as I've mentioned in the past. We are in the process of getting our house ready to sell so we can move into a condominium, and none too soon. This week, now we're getting into mid-May here, and in this area, the Chicago area, when I was young, 90 degree Fahrenheit, what's that, about 32 degrees Celsius, that was almost unheard of in May. And now we've had 3 days straight of temperatures over 90 degrees Fahrenheit. And unfortunately, that first day I turned on our central air, and within about 2 hours, our 20-year-old outside air conditioning unit gave up the ghost. So it's going to be another week before we can get an estimate on replacing that. And probably another couple of weeks before the actual installation takes place, because we're going to have to do that to sell the house. I don't think anybody's going to want to buy a house with an air conditioner that doesn't work when we're heading into summer. So it is really interesting to me that, of course, you know, I've mentioned in the past my science background. It is interesting to me how many people who have absolutely no training in a particular scientific field somehow think they're experts and they know more than the people that study that particular scientific field. In this case, climate science. One of the things I learned in graduate school is how difficult science is, and that anybody who spends most of their adult life working on becoming an expert in any field of science, doesn't matter what it is, they generally know what they're talking about. Anyway, just a little editorializing on my part. It's no secret what I think. Anyway, in the process of getting this house ready to sell, of course, we're cleaning, we're taking a lot of things to a local charity that actually, it's a local shop that their sales support several local charities, including a food kitchen and a housing center. So anyway, I found a pair of binoculars, and these were my childhood binoculars. I received these for Christmas, I would say probably 1967, 68. They are Sears binoculars. Now, you can see it says Sears. I don't know if you can read that. I'm actually much farther away from the camera than I normally am, but Sears does not, or did not, they did not make anything that I'm aware of. I don't think they really made anything. But they put their name on a lot of products, and really most of the products that Sears put their name on were pretty decent products. So this was my pair of binoculars. So I pulled these out, and they had been in the case for probably 20 to 30 years. Now, y'all probably have heard of lens fungus. And fungus likes darkness. It also likes moisture. And of course, unless your optics are sealed, like we have weather resistance and weather sealing in camera optics, a lot of them, it's not perfect. But you can get dust inside of the optics, and spores, whether they're mold and fungus spores or bacterial spores, some bacteria form spores, they can come in on that dust. And if you have any moisture inside here, and there's organic things in here, maybe left over from manufacturing, you can get fungus growing on your lens elements. And so I thought, I wonder what this looks like. So I took a look through it, and really the best way to do this is aim the camera, aim whatever lens it is. And it's harder if you're looking through it as the normal view, because it'll just look cloudy. But if you reverse it and you look from the front element through, then you will see if there is any lens fungus. And oh my God, I'm putting up some pictures here, but there's just a ton of fungus. Now, if I take these and I focus out the window here, you know, if you pick these up and you actually looked through them, I doubt you would notice what's in here. But maybe if you compared them to a pair of binoculars with perfectly clear optics, then you'd see. But yeah, there's just a ton of fungus in here. What do you do to keep it? And I should mention, there seems to be some debate on whether fungus will actually use, say, lens coatings as an food source or energy source, meaning, you know, it can eat that. It really probably depends on the coating. I imagine maybe there are some coatings that have material in them that fungi can live on. You got to realize fungi and bacteria, there are bacteria, soil bacteria, that are actually very similar to fungi. It's very, very interesting. These are little biochemical powerhouses. A lot of them can actually use some pretty weird things as food sources. So I'm not completely sure that fungus can't use lens coatings as actual food. And again, it probably depends on the coating. But what does happen is, in the process of growing, the fungus will produce hydrofluoric acid. That hydrofluoric acid can then etch the glass. So you really don't want to get this in your lens. So the best thing to do is, once you get back from a shoot, if you've been shooting outside, even with weather resistant and weather sealed equipment, if it's been raining, they've been getting at all wet, don't leave them in your bag. Leave it out, put it on a table, let it dry out. Just make sure that there's no moisture. You might want to think about maybe getting some silica gel and keeping that around. You can always put that in your bags in containers that have a few holes in them. They actually used to even sell these little, I actually probably have a couple of these things for Canon lenses that it held silica gel, and you actually could pop it onto the lens mount and it would keep your camera dry. This is really important for tropical conditions where there's a lot of moisture. Anyway, that's it. I just thought I'd do this little short thing here while we're getting this place in order. If you don't see me for another couple weeks, you'll know why, because really as you can imagine, we've been here for coming up on 30 years, and we just have a lot of stuff. Probably should have started getting rid of it about 10 years ago. So anyway, if this was informative to you or entertaining, if you have any insights or questions, leave them down below. But if this was informative, pop that like button. That's a big help to me. If you have subscribed so far, you know, even while I've kind of been not putting up videos, people are subscribing, so that's really nice and encouraging. You know, I really appreciate subscribers, and if you want to know when my next video is up, hit that little bell to be informed. Until I see you next, I'm Todd Banner, and keep shooting.